Now, when you operate in special VFR clearance, what are the restrictions? Minimum visibility of what?
Whatever he tells you.
Minimum visibility in special VFR clearance is 1 statute miles. It goes back to Golf.
Oh, really?
Which is less restricted. So let's assume you're a private pilot. It happened to me not too long ago flying to the Hamptons. You're a private pilot, you check the forecast, the weather and your destination is VFR. For whatever reason, the weather changed. There's a wind coming from the south, blowing some moisture from the ocean, and the whole airport is turning fogged up, and it's 2.5 mile visibility, but you still want to be able to land the airplane in that destination airport.
Okay.
So, you request special VFR clearance. When you request a special VFR clearance, air traffic control will let you operate in visual flight rules. That means you see and avoid, you look outside the window and you fly by looking outside at minimum visibility of 1 statute miles. And what about cloud clearance?
Cloud clearance at what, class Delta?
And special VFR clearance. What's the minimum cloud clearance with special VFR?
It goes back to Gulf, right?
Goes back to Gulf. What's the minimum cloud clearance in Gulf?
Clear of clouds.
Yasso! There's your drink. It's not alcohol. Just water and soda. We're gonna cheers because we have just wrapped up classes of airspace. Now on your private pilot check, right? The examiner is not necessarily going to ask you that on the oral. But he may come up and say, okay, sir, we're just departing Republic Airport. We're cruising here over around Capture Bridge at 1,500 feet. What class of airspace are we in? So you open up your VFR sectional chart. And you look. And you see here. Nothing. You see here. Class Charlie. You see here. Nothing. Nothing. And you're at 1,500 feet. So if there's no airspace and you're at 1,500 feet, what kind of airspace are you in?
Echo.
Echo! And then the next question, he's going to come to you and he's going to ask, okay, sir, what is the minimum visibility to maintain VFR in Class Echo? Talk to the microphone.
2,000 feet.
No, minimum visibility, not cloud clearance. Visibility, that's the minimum visibility.
An Echo, 3 miles.
3 statute miles. Okay, what about cloud clearance?
500 below, 1,000 above.
What about horizontal distance from cloud?
2,000 feet.
2,000 feet, that's it. You got it. Brother, you got it. So that's the kind of questions he's going to ask you. Any questions on the airspace before we proceed to the next subject, which is going to be very, very interesting?
No, I have to study this a little more, but I'm going to study this. That's fine.
The next subject we're going to talk about is flight instruments. And the Pitot static system will be the first system we're going to be discussing. So, why don't you go ahead and look at your instrument panel and tell me what instruments on that instrument panel are instruments that are connected to the Pitot static system.
This.
When you say this, just tell me what's the name of the instrument, because
airspeed indicator.
How do you call that? Airspeed indicator. Okay, that's right.
Altimeter.
Altimeter, that's right.
And What else? Give me 1 second. I know there's supposed to be a third one. Gotta be this, the vertical speed.
Vertical speed indicator. Looks like we're drifting off course. Let's go back on course to the left. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Okay, so we have 3 instruments that are pitot-static. We have airspeed indicator, altimeter, and vertical speed indicator. What instrument uses both pitot and static?
Airspeed indicator.
Airspeed indicator. Let's just keep it simple, stupid. How is the airspeed indicator knowing how fast we're going through the air?
Going through the pitot.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And exiting the vent.
Okay. So ram air, or the relative wind, is hitting the
no,
pitot.
it's been, as far as I know, just occasional light chops here and there. It's available if you want to try it.
It's a good time to give him a pilot report because there's somebody asking for a ride.
Falcon 566, descended maintain, flight level 350.
Oh, flight level 350, he's way up there. That's a jet at 35,000 feet getting bumps. And we're at 11, yeah, he's bumpy, he's looking for a smooth ride. And we're at 11,000 feet now, nice and smooth. You can barely feel the airplane. I mean, the airplane's cruising like a... It's like a car. I mean, you can barely feel it. I mean, I'm ready to fall asleep here. Back to the pitot. So, the pitot tube is picking up some ram air as the airspeed is going through. The ram air picking up some relative wind through that little tiny hole in the pitot. It's taking the ram air pressure. What else is it taking to get your airspeed indicator?
Pressure, right?
What pressure?
So the vents.
What vents? What's that called, that vent? Other than the pitot tube, what else is?
Pitot.
It's called static. Excellent. Take a note of it. The airspeed indicator is getting ram air from the pitot tube, and it's getting static pressure from a static port on the airframe. And what it's doing, it's measuring the differential between these two, and that's what's giving you airspeed indication.
Altimeter is only through the static, right?
That is correct. The altimeter, all it does, it's getting static pressure based on the static pressure outside. It decides what altitude you're on.
Same thing with the vertical.
That's correct. The vertical speed indicator will get static pressure, and it will indicate a rate of descent or a rate of climb depending on how quickly the static pressure is changing. Let's assume the static pressure is increasing. What will the vertical speed indicator show?
Rising.
If the static pressure is increasing,
Decline.
descending. Remember, the altimeter, based on the static pressure, decides what altitude you're on. The higher the pressure, the lower you are. The lower the pressure, the higher you are. The vertical speed indicator measures the static pressure, and as the static pressure is increasing or decreasing, it's showing you the rate of increase and decrease. Let's go back up. Let me see the all the way to New York. 3 hours and 38 minutes. Oh, beautiful. We got some weather over there northeast of us. Yeah, some green stuff ahead of us. Okay, so let's summarize. Pitot static system will consist of three instruments. Airspeed indicator, altimeter indicator, or altimeter, and
vertical speed.
Vertical speed indicator. Three of those instruments are connected to the pitot system. The pitot system has a pitot tube to get ram air and a static port to get static air. The difference between these two will be indicated on the airspeed indicator. The faster you are, the more the difference, the differential difference between the pressure between the two. Altimeter is only getting static pressure and telling you how high you are. The vertical speed indicator only getting static pressure and will tell you the rate of descent and rate of climb you have on the airplane. Any questions on the pitot system? I have a question for you on the pitot system. Let's assume the pitot cover gets clogged. There's a little mosquito decided to jump right into that hole and plug it. Boom. What will happen to the airspeed indicator? What will the airspeed indicator indicate?
Cut out.
Cut out? And what is that going to do? Cut out what?
You will not know your airspeed.
Yeah, what's it going to show there?
0.
0. Excellent. Basically shows 0. What if the static port gets clogged?
All three will get screwed.
It's gonna mess up everything. Because everything is using static, right?
All three.
Pitot is using, the airspeed using static, vertical speed, and the altimeter. This particular airplane has an alternate static source.
Really?
Correct. Let's assume the static port outside the airplane gets clogged. If the static port gets clogged, you can use alternate static port. Why would the static port get clogged outside?
Ice.
Icing! You're entering icy conditions. It's a very dangerous situation if you're entering icy conditions, because if you're in icy conditions and the static port gets clogged, you cannot tell your altimeter. Remember, static gets clogged and screwed up all the three instruments. So you can switch the switch. There's alternate static source here. You see it says alternate static air?
Yeah.
There's a little switch underneath. You pull it, and it's taking static pressure from inside the cabin. This aircraft is fully certified to fly in instrument conditions. So just in case you're entering icy conditions, you can use static source from inside the cabin, and you get your altimeter back. Because it's very important when you're flying, you want to know how high you are. If you don't know how high you are and it's mountains, you know, it's a good way to kill yourself. Just if you're IFR and your instrument, you're in the clouds and you don't know what's your altitude. Let's go ahead and make the screen a little bigger on the Garmin. I want to see how...
This way or top?
Up. Top is up. I want to see how much rain we're going to go through. Okay, keep going. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Not too bad. Little puff. Little puff of rain. No big deal. Okay! Next question or system we're going to discuss, unless you want to take a break, is the vacuum system.
Tell me about it.
By the way, this airplane vacuum system is a little bit more complicated than the Luscombe, but it's very similar. We can talk about this first and then compare it to the Luscombe so you can compare them.
Suction right here?
That's correct. That is the vacuum system. The suction, is that on the green?
Yeah.
What's it indicating? About 5?
Center. Yeah, 5.
About 5, okay. That That's just about what you want to have. The green 5 is what you want to have on the suction gauge. Looks like we're drifting just a tiny bit to the right. Let's go back, look. Excellent. So, the vacuum pump is located inside the engine. The vacuum pump is creating vacuum. As it's creating vacuum, it's operating certain gyros on the instrument panel. Do you know, and can you identify what instruments on the panel are operated by vacuum? Beautiful. Attitude indicator is vacuum operated. Does it say vacuum inside?
Yeah, it does.
Beautiful. Alright, what else? One more instrument.
I got this one.
Nope.
No?
That's not vacuum. How about another 5 degrees left? Looks like we're drifting off course. There's another little 5 degrees left. Perfect right there. Other instrument that's vacuum. Come on, you know it.
Another instrument that uses vacuum?
Yep, 2 instruments on this instrument panel are using vacuum.
I don't know what the other one is.
The other one is directional gyro. Where's the directional gyro? Point towards directional gyro or head indicator.
This?
Right there, using vacuum.
Alright, that's new. But these two are using vacuum.
That is correct.
What is this using? Oh, this is using,
Medevac A Hotel Quebec, Washington, roger.
Using what?
November 1 Romeo Mike, contact Raleigh approach on 125.3, good day.
Got a Raleigh 25.3 on Romeo Mike. Good night. Good evening, Raleigh Skywagon 1 Romeo Mike. 1000 Recruitch.
Skywagon 1 Romeo Mike, Raleigh approach, route number 3006.
006, good evening. 006, Chief. What time are we in? Midnight?
sorry?
Midnight? What time now?
What time?
Time, yeah.
1:25.
1 o'clock, 1:20, 1:25, 1:25. Flight plan? Let's see how far to New York. $125, 325. We are going to arrive New York City, New York. 325, 125.
2 hours.
No, more than 2 hours. We're 413 nautical miles and we're cruising at about 120? What was it? $120. 400 nautical miles, 120. 360 is 3 hours plus 40. About 3 hours and 20 minutes. 3 hours and 20 minutes to New York. 1 hour and 20. It's 4. We're going to arrive in New York at 4 o'clock. 4:40. 4:40 in the morning.
Wow.
Okay, so let's assume we're losing the vacuum pump. What instruments are going to fail and show false indication?
Heading indicator and banking.
What do you mean banking?
The I got the name.
Attitude indicator. You'll learn it. You'll say it 10 more times. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and say, oh, yeah, it's an attitude indicator. Yeah. Listen, you got to sleep with the books. You want to get a private pilot, sleep with those books. For the next couple of weeks, sleep with those books. And it's going to get a little bit more complicated as we're going towards the end, because towards the end we're going to study for the oral. So you're going to know all this knowledge you're going to keep in your head. But I find sitting on the plane And talking about all these stuff on the plane will actually learn better. You're going to learn better when you take the written exam. It's actually it's application. It's actually showing you visually what all the stuff does, not just reading it in the book. And sometimes flying the plane and understanding it in the plane is much better than...
I think so.
I agree so, and I know so. I say another 5 degrees right, get back on course. Now, let's discuss the turn coordinator. What does the turn coordinator do, and what's operating that turn coordinator?
Turn coordinator?
Yes, sir.
What? It shows your bank.
Shows your bank.
When you turn, you're talking about this, the airplane,
I'm
right?
talking about this airplane. How can you tell the bank angle?
With the wings aligning the lights.
When that right wingtip is touching the line, what's that going to give you, a bank angle?
When this touches this,
Yep.
turn
It's going to give you a rate
of turn.
of turn. Very good. Other than the rate of turn, what else can we read from the turn coordinator?
Other than the turn,
Talked about it a little bit earlier this flight.
the angle,
Rate of roll.
or rate of roll, 2 minutes, or 1 minute.
No, the 2 minute, 1 minute is rate of turn. Rate of turn is 3 degrees per second. It's going to take you 2 minutes to complete a complete 360. Rate of roll, it shows you how quickly you're rolling the airplane. So it's a very precise instrument. Other than just giving you the rate of turn, it's giving you the rate of roll. So, if you're rolling the aircraft fast, it's going to indicate fast that you're rolling. If you're rolling the aircraft slow, it's going to indicate slow that you're rolling. That's how it's showing you the rate of roll. The more it turns, the faster your rate of roll. So, you can roll the aircraft slow, and you can roll the aircraft fast. It will indicate very precisely how quickly you're rolling.
This takes time.
No, this also instinct. Also instinct. But it doesn't show you the rate of roll. It just shows you the bank angle. Now let's go back to the Luscombe. What instrument do we have in the Luscombe?
We have this.
Correct.
We have a needle.
Just the needle up right there. Right and left. What is that showing us?
The yaw.
Nope.
No, the yaw is this shows us the yaw, right?
That's inclinometer, yeah. Skid and slip or inclinometer. That shows if you're slipping or skidding. But what does that needle do? You go right, it turns right, you go right, left.
Medevac Duke 1, the hospital is 12 o'clock, 5 miles, radar service terminated, squawk appropriate code, frequency change approved, no known traffic between you and the hospital.
Yeah, Medevac Duke 1, we appreciate it. See you later. It's called turn and slip indicator.
This is it.
Turn and slip indicator.
It's a turn indicator, shows you the rate of turn, and it's a slip indicator showing you if you're slipping or skidding, which is the inclinometer. So, when this right wingtip is touching this line, it's showing you 2 minute turn, 3 degrees per second. On the rate of turn indicator in the Luscombe, when it hits the other line, which is on the angle, it's also 3 degrees per second. However, is this vacuum powered or electric powered?
It's electric, no?
Very good. What about the Luscombe?
I I would assume also electric.
No.
Not?
Oh. Drifting off course a little bit. Let's fix it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and tell him we're gonna divert, because I mean, we could totally make it all the way to New York. With these winds, no problem tonight. Nice winds. Let's go ahead and put a flight plan. And change the flight plan, which is also something you can do and learn how to do. So we're gonna get the map out. Is here. Open the map from Richmond towards New York. Looks like we're going right in the weather, but I don't see anything here. Maybe it's on top of us or some moisture.
Clouds
Who
over
knows?
there, no?
You're picking up, I'm not picking up any rain. You seeing any rain coming? I mean, it's somewhere in the clear. It's nice.
No, very clear.
Yeah, I'm not picking up anything. Okay, find Richmond. And let's see what airway we're gonna use from Richmond.
This is Boston.
Boston, it's probably go down a little bit. Yeah, go down. Oh, it could be on the other map. Yeah, flip. This is Boston. You're too far north.
That's not the map that we were using before.
No, but it's the map to know the airway, because I want to divert to Republic. I want to go all the way to New York. If we can have good winds and we can just keep pushing all the way up. We're going to push all the way up. This is 2324. This is Florida map. Right, New York?
Found it?
No, this is Florida. It's in your map. New York is in your map.
Washington.
You're getting close. If you see Washington, you're good.
Washington's up here, so we gotta be Kennedy
Okay,
right
Canarsie Kennedy and Washington where?
here. Washington is here.
Okay, and Richmond is? Open the map a little more, maybe? See Richmond? Yeah, there's Richmond. Yep. Okay, Richmond, we're gonna go Papa. Patuxent, Victor 16. Let's do Richmond, Victor 16. All the way Cedar Lake, Coil, to Dixie. Ziggy, where's Ziggy? Pansy. Oh, Victor 184, Victor 229. So Garrett, okay, Victor 16 to Garrett. And Victor 229, all the way Atlantic City. Victor 184 to Victor 44. Cameron. And usually Ziggy, Victor 184 is Ziggy. Okay, hold this page like that. Fold this. You okay? Water. Let's put it in the cup holder so it doesn't fall. Fold the page. Fold it nicely like this. And we'll come up with a flight plan. And we're gonna divert all the way to New York. Show you how to do it. This is usually usually doesn't happen, but sometimes you have good winds and you estimating that you're gonna have a fuel stop, but the fuel burn is good, and you just don't need a fuel stop, so you just keep on pushing. I mean, we can easily make it to New York because 3 hours and 15 minutes, and we've been up in the air for 4 hours, so 7 hours and 15 minutes, and we're burning 8 gallons an hour. And it's actually going to get better. So, okay. So, from Richmond, what we got from Richmond? Was it Victor 16?
16.
Okay, Victor 16 to where? Tapa? Tapa. Victor 16 Tapa. To Patuxent, so Victor 16 Patuxent.
Then it continues.
Then
16.
Victor 16 Patuxent, keep going. We need to go to Atlantic City. Atlantic City is a good alternate for fuel, by the way, 24/7. Victor 16 to Garrett. And then Victor 16 to Garrett. After Garrett, where's Garrett?
Garrett is
Okay, beautiful. Victor 229, Atlantic City. Then Victor 229, Atlantic City. We're gonna go Victor 184. Atlantic City, Victor 184 to Ziggy.
Penzi, you did?
Now we'll go Ziggy. From Ziggy, usually we get Direct Republic, because it's going to be a Kennedy. So, I got the flight plan. You can follow the map, and let's talk to him. And this was approach. Good evening, approach. Skywalker 1 Romeo Mike with request.
November 1 Romeo Mike, say request.
Oh yes, so we're getting some nice tailwinds here tonight. Just wondering if we can proceed directly to, actually we have a flight plan. We can do the Victor Airways from Richmond all the way to Republic Airport. Change our destination, divert over to Republic. I can give you the flight plan. If you can update it on the system, that'll be great.
And November 1 Romeo Mike, stand by here.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm making him work, you know? When we planned the flight, Richmond was more...
November 1 Romeo Mike, give me the route you would like, sir.
Yes, sir. From Richmond, we got Victor 16 to Patuxent, Papa X-Ray Tango, then Victor 16 to Garrett intersection, which is Golf Alpha Romeo Echo Delta, then Victor 229er, Victor 229 Atlantic City Alpha Charlie Yankee, Victor 184, Victor 184, Ziggy intersection, Zulu, India, Golf India, Direct Republic Airport. Let's see if he's going to give it to us. He's probably going to give it to us.
And I'm sorry about this 1 Romeo Mike, I kind of ran out of paper there while you were saying. If you could read it back to me again a little bit slower, and I'll try to get it into the system for you.
That'll be great. Thanks a lot. We got from Richmond, VR, Romeo India Charlie, Victor 16, Victor 16 Patuxent, which is Papa X-Ray Tango. Continue Victor 16, Victor 16 to Garrett intersection, Golf Alpha Romeo, Echo Delta. Then Victor 229er, Victor 229, Atlantic City, Alpha Charlie Yankee VR. Then Victor 184, Victor 184, Ziggy intersection, Zulu, India, Golf India, direct Republic Airport, which is our destination, and we'll take Atlantic City as the alternate.
And what's the three-letter identifier for Republic Airport?
That'll be Foxtrot Romeo Golf. He's working on it, Mr. ATC, put you to work.
So this is legs, cross-country legs.
This is basically Victor Airways. We just looked at the map, all the Victor Airways. That's both on the low altitude and route chart and on the VFR sectional chart. All these intersections, everything's in it. Yep. Hold this, hold the pen, let's see if he's going to give it to us. He's working on updating the system. I suspect he will, but you never know. Any questions so far? No.
Not that I can think of.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Give us the clearance, boy. Under 23 knots. Oh, we're cruising, boy. We're cruising. Different. The Luscombe's like 70. You do 70 now. Like 6-7 fuel stops. Little tiny 14-gallon tank.
6-7 fuel stops?
6-7 fuel stops, man. I'll show you. Actually, I've done more than that.
I guess you don't fly at 11,000.
No, usually 9 max, 7. Depends on the wind. Usually 3, sometimes 500 feet. Let me show you a flight that took forever. It was like 2 years ago. It's so much.
November 1 Romeo Mike, you're cleared to the Foxtrot Romeo Gulf Airport via direct Richmond, Victor 16, Patuxent, Victor 16, Garrett, Victor 229er, Atlantic City, Victor 184, Ziggy, direct Foxtrot Romeo Gulf, maintain 11,000.
Wonderful. Skywalker 1 Romeo Mike, Director Richmond, Victor 16, Patuxent, Victor 16, Garrett, Victor 229, Atlantic City, Victor 184, Ziggy intersection, direct Fox Romeo Golf. Any checks for an alternate of Atlantic City, Alpha Charlie Yankee?
I will pass it on to the next controller that you'd like Atlantic City as an alternate.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Done. New York, baby, New York! Okay, let me show you. Keep that's our flight plan. And I'm going to show you that trip that took forever.